What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about my first experience playing Life is Strange. So I've done this a couple times in the past, and this is basically just more or less a story time, right? Where I kind of talk about a game or a movie or something the very first time I experienced. I did it with Batman Arkham Knight. I did it with Sly 2, and I really have enjoyed, talking about it. So I thought I would do this for Life is Strange with, obviously, True Colors coming out in just under a month. I'm getting very excited. I get more excited every single day. And I've talked about it before. I mean, Life is Strange, in my opinion, is a phenomenal game. I love the game to death. I love Max. I think she's a phenomenal character. One of the best female characters, but not even just that, just one of the better characters, I think, in a game, period. I really do believe that. I think the concept, the premise is awesome. The time travel idea. Was it everything I wanted in terms of how they kind of connected everything towards the, episodes 4 and 5, basically? No. I mean, I think I had better theories, or people online had better theories of what could have happened versus what they did. But, I mean, I just have such fond memories. So, to talk about the very first time, you go back to the very beginning, right? So, this game, it's like 6 years old, right? I believe it came out in early 2015. I remember seeing this game for the first time in a trailer. Now, I don't remember, years for this one are sketchy, right? I was even on the channel, the main channel. If you go on the main channel, some of the very first videos ever on that channel are me playing Life is Strange, my walkthroughs of it, and that's also, I think, why it holds a very special place in my heart, is because basically I would live stream it and I just put it online. Nobody watched. I mean, it got 1 to 2 views, but who cares? You know what I mean? I thought that was good back in the day, but I remember watching the trailer for the very first time, and my cousin can attest to this. I told my cousin, I said, this game is going to be special. I know it. I know something about it, whether visually or the music or the concept or the characters. I know this game is going to be special. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for this game. And this was in the time of episodic games going wild. You know what I mean? There was a lot of good episodic games. There were some bad ones, but this was like the peak, the heyday of episodic content. And I cannot, that's one of the most vivid memories of Life is Strange to me, was simply the first trailer. Square Enix, Don't Nod. Now, I didn't know who Don't Nod was at the time. I knew what Remember Me was, but I didn't kind of put 2 and 2 together immediately. But Square Enix, I'm like, you know what? I think this is going to be something really, really special. And I texted him that, and he can attest to that himself, right? Then I played it, and oh my God, I mean, you know what I mean? It was so special, because everything that I thought it was going to be, it was. And I'll be honest. The stuff that I was mentioning earlier, in terms of letting people down, it didn't let me down all that much. I was at the time, choosing between Chloe and Arcadia Bay, I was fine with. I didn't get so bent out of, I saw the outrage online of and I get it. I understand it. Choice-based game, this kind of storytelling experience, and then you're still going to end it on one of 2 choices. Where I guess that's not the main problem, because pretty much any game still kind of boils down to that. There's not too many ways around it, okay? I think the bigger thing is just people felt like their decisions throughout the episodes didn't matter in the end, where other games like Witcher or even Mass Effect, Mass Effect had similar problems, but Mass Effect did try to wrap up and provide clarity to a lot of the stuff you did throughout those games. It's just when it boiled down to the very end, it still left us with just, a couple choices. So, I think some of it is a Life is Strange problem, and some of it is a a choose your own adventure. It's those kind of games in general. It's a problem that they all have. You know what I mean? But I loved it. I mean, and I talked about it before, there's very few games. There's very few games I just sit and experience. And I mean kind of stop playing the game and just take it all in a couple minutes or so, right? I know there's people with I know there's people like that, right? There's photo mode, right? People will stop, they'll look at the sun, they'll take all these pictures, and they will spend time just taking in what an amazing shot it is, or what an amazing scene. With Life is Strange, and basically what I'm getting to, is really the moments of silence. And I guess not silence because there's music in the background, but scenes where Max is on the bus, right? I believe it's at the end of episode 1 when she's looking out the bus, and there's the music and there's all of these scenes playing out. But it's really it's I wouldn't say it's calming, because I think it's a little bit heightened than that. But there are experiences or times in that game where you can kind of just sit and enjoy. You know, when she just plays the guitar and it's just, you can sit there for as long as you want, just kind of listening to the loop. I think the soundtrack is one of, if not the best soundtracks in all of gaming, maybe in all of history, to be honest with you. I adore the heck out of the soundtrack. I really, really do. But like that alone really changed things for me because I love the characters. Again, I love the concept at the time. I remember very vividly the shock moments, right? When you open the door and Chloe, or when they open the door, I guess, right? And Chloe is disabled, right? Because of the decision you made. My jaw dropped. I was like, no, this can't be. I literally remember feeling that. And I really, I'm honest. I'm very honest with this. In terms of like those kind of moments, I can probably count them on one hand, one or two hands, how many times I felt that. You know what I mean? There's games I like more in Life is Strange. There are. I mean, I have a top 5, top 10 list. One day maybe I'll make a video talking about all of my favorite games. And Life is Strange, I assume, is certainly up there, but there are games I like more. But in terms of like jaw dropping to the ground, I can't think of bigger moments than like seeing Chloe like that, or the ending of episode 4, or even just going through 5. Like 5 just has this feel. I actually don't know how to describe it. I just remember playing it and kind of feeling saddened, right? Because like it was the end. Like this was it. We didn't know if there was going to be Life is Strange 2 or like the farewell episode, right? We didn't know that at that time. So it was like, this could very well be it for these characters. And then obviously having to choose between Chloe and Arcadia Bay, it's like, damn it. Like I have to let those people that I've grown to love, because, in a game like this, I did do everything. I would talk to everybody. I explored every dialogue choice, all that stuff. Everybody. So I really felt, and they did a really good job, I think, writing a lot of these characters. They did. The voice work in terms of like, the mouthing isn't great, but I really have learned to just completely move off of it. I think the voice acting is very good, very solid, and it has like, I guess the people that need to be really good are really good, and then everybody else kind of just, maybe they're not amazing, but they're definitely like serviceable. Okay, again, music, like ambience, love it. The gameplay is completely fine. Like, again, I have no problems with like walking around and just examining things and stuff. I think the time travel, well, in that way, the time travel saves it, right? Because it's a very interesting premise. It's a very interesting power. And I don't know. I've said it before, even with Life is Strange. Like, it's going to be very hard. If Life is Strange goes on for 10, 15 years, I think it's still going to be next to impossible to ever beat the first game. That's, in my opinion, that's what I think. In terms of Max, in terms of time travel, the teen drama, like the girl drama, teen drama, the idea of what they did with, I don't want to say certain words, choosing to stay around or not stay around, let's say something like that, right? There's a lot of like deep, the Rachel Amber mystery, like murder mystery in general, like there's a lot going on in that first game that I think works so well. I mean, you could have made a game with just one of those things. You could have done a teen drama. You could have done a girl returning to a town with this friend that feels kind of disconnected, and she's going to school and she's trying to fit it. Like, you could have done that. You could have done a time travel game. Like, you could have done a lot of different elements, and they chose to do it all in one. You could have done a murder mystery, right? But they did a phenomenal job because it's more than just one thing. This is a very one of the better multi-layered games of all time. I truly believe that, because it is trying to be a lot of different things, and it could very well have just crumbled under its own weight, but it didn't. I guess the only thing you could point out is that online kind of stuff that happened with the choices that they made. And I'm not going to shy away from it. I don't think it's a perfect game. I love the game to death, and it'll always be one of my favorite games. But do I think it could have been better? Absolutely. I think there were cooler theories. That homeless lady that was behind the diner, the theory that was Max, because she was very old. She had the same cereal Max had, right? All those, those were phenomenal theories. I think those would have been very cool if that lady believed you, right? If you talked to her enough and you told her that with time and all that stuff, she believes you. So it's like, well, could she be Max, just kind of in like an alternate dimension? Like maybe she got trapped, or maybe she lost her powers because she was using it so much. Again, like, I'm not gonna lie and say it was a perfect game and they couldn't have done anything better. They could have. There could have been a lot cooler time travel things they went with, and they didn't, and that is disappointing. But I just have the best memories with this game. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I've always loved this game. I played it back then, and then I replayed it right before Life is Strange 2 came out. Now I'm waiting on it. I'm going to play it again when the remaster comes out, so it'll be my third time playing it. And I don't like to play it too much. Most games I do not play more than once, even games that I love to death. Uncharted 4 is my favorite game of all time. I've only beaten that game twice. I've never played it more than 2 times, and I'm sure I'll beat it maybe 1 or 2 more times in my life, but I really don't play games all that often because they're never going to replicate the experience I first had, right? So I just kind of leave them where they are, but it holds a very special place in my heart. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did you play Life is Strange back in the day? What was it like? What'd you think? All of that stuff. Make sure, if you guys did like this, you guys like the video, subscribe, bell icon turned on. I'd love to do more of these kinds of videos, whether it's here or on the main channel, you know what I mean, anywhere that it kind of makes sense. Thank you all for watching. I do a brand new video on this channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.